Okay, so I'm going to do this video and another one separate and then continue on with the family of origin things. Okay, this is what's happening. Just a heads up regarding so-called estranged parents channels. I don't know every one there is, but they're not a safe place. This is the reason I say that. There's people that basically, I don't know if they're trolls, but they go on there and they're ignorant. Maybe they're estranged kids, I don't know. But they're abusive and ignorant. And if you try and stand up for somebody, um, it doesn't really work. You get attacked. And I had an interaction with this person that keeps changing their names. I think it's the same person. And there were some comments that were really stupid, beyond disgusting, and they were kept up. And some of my comments were deleted for some reason. I don't know if YouTube's doing this or the channel owner. But I'm saying I'm not going to put up with this crap, be abused by some idiot on the internet. And it's not a safe place. Like, I really don't want to be part of an estranged parent group, but for people that do or want support, I wouldn't bother with these assholes. Okay, so I'm going to go through some stuff here and give you an example of what I'm talking about. So, there is a person that is basically stuck on stats and thinks that basically that it's everything the parents' fault. And a lot of people I've seen this, they assume, but I'm doing a separate video with you strange kids. They assume that it's all the parents' fault, how they raised their kids, the standard they set, like an example they gave, and that they're all abusive. And that's not true. Every case should be different. But, you know, you could say that till you're blue in the face. People believe what they want to believe. They don't care. This crap is allowed. Like, I believe in free speech, but you know what? When it gets to a point where someone's actually attacking someone and abusing them, you got to draw the line somewhere. So I don't know what's up these people's ass. It seems to me like maybe they're just in it for, like, the more interaction you get in the video, the more popular it becomes. They're in for views, subscribers. A lot of these people make money on the side. They ask for donations. So this is just bullshit, you know. I've been put down a lot and insulted on the internet here, and I'm not asking to feel sorry for you. I'm just saying that's what happens. And I'm not putting up with this bullshit. I don't care if I'm popular or not because, well, it's a different story. Maybe I'll just leave that for when I do the video regarding the estranged kids, how they're abusive. Okay, so I'm having this interaction here, if you want to call it that. I'm just going to read some excerpts what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I did say, this person was talking about Generation Z. I don't get into generations. To me, each generation has bad and good. I rather deal with individuals as an individual. But people get into these generations. I don't really care. So basically, I made this response. They were saying that basically this Generation Z, that I guess the kids aren't really taught to be respectful. Okay, so basically, I responded, I said, if you don't teach your kids basic manners and standards, then that is a recipe for disaster. That is only encouraging sociopathy and narcissism, which you can see clearly on this channel based on numerous posts. Okay, so after I said that, this asshole responds to me and says, what underlies your comment here is an expectation of obedience to authority and the belief that children have no agency to advocate for themselves if it goes counter to that authority. I'm not going to debate the ridiculous example of the op here with the teacher-parent interaction and its lack of relevance to PAC estrangement. Your comment is associating lack of manners to sociopathy and narcissism. Seems that manners equals obedience to you. Yes. This idea that children should obey and respect authority, and especially parents, that mentality is a contributor to conflictual relationship dynamics that can lead to estrangement. You model manners and respect in the way you treat others and how you treat your child. That is what they pick up on and emulate. If you don't show them respect, it is unreasonable to expect them to respect you. If respect is one-sided and only flowing from them to you and not the other way, the relationship is not based on respect but on fear and authoritarianism. Ugh, trouble pronouncing that. Okay, I don't know what this problem. This person sounds like an anarchist to me, but whatever. So I responded and said, do sociopaths have manners? Sociopaths don't follow societal norms and they do not obey laws. Narcissists also, due to lack of empathy and inability to self-reflect on how they affect others, don't have manners. Where did I say manners equals obedience to me? You twist things. Why do you do that? Manners makes you human. Civility is a good thing and has nothing to do with obeying a particular person, but is a moral code of ethics. Have you ever heard of that? Children should obey and respect authority sounds like you are talking about some sort of tyrannical dictatorship and or communism instead of a family unit. There's no similarity. You can obey your parents because they are your parents and you know they know what is best for you. There's no fear in that. You're really twisting things and taking things out of context. Okay, so then this arrogant person responds back and says, you do realize your comments prove my point? No, they didn't. Children should obey and respect authority unless they are corrupt. See, that's the thing. This is the problem. One of my comments was, I believe, deleted. Now I'm going to get it here from the beginning. And this is the problem. You know, you know what? Someone deleted, I don't know, they deleted my comment because the comment I made prior to that one, I said about obeying unless their authority was corrupt. So I'm trying to find it. I think it's been deleted. And who deleted it? You know, this is bullshit. This is total bullshit. That comment was deleted because I know what I said. Okay, so basically, I don't know who's doing this. Someone deleted the comment, and this person responds to me, but the comment was deleted. I don't know if I can find it. I don't think I can. I think it was deleted right off. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Uh, Basically, this other person says you do, okay, children should obey and respect authority unless they're corrupt. Children should obey parents unless they are abusive. The children don't rule the household. That would be anarchy. Okay. You know what? This is bullshit. I made a comment. This is a channel owner did this or YouTube. I think it's the channel owner. I don't know. I'm not going to say because I really don't know. But that's bullshit because right there, I made a comment and this person who's ignorant on here, their comment stays up. And it's taking what I said out of context, and because my comment's deleted, you don't get the context of what I said. Okay, so that's total bullshit. Total bullshit. And this person keeps talking about deflecting. No one's deflecting anything. This is what they do because you don't agree with them and call them out in their bullshit. What they do is then they accuse you of deflecting. So that's just BS. Total BS. Anyways, I don't like this because it takes things out of context. Okay, this person uh, basically states, this other person says, when parents have this rigid authoritarian stance, it carries over into their relationships with their adult children. No, it doesn't. That's bullshit. No, it doesn't. And because you're not authoritarian as in a bad way, it's when they're children. When they're adults, you don't treat them like children because they're not children anymore. They're adults. The relationship would change. So this person's full of crap. Then the person says they do not respect their adult child's right to address relationship conflict, either from things that happened when they were a child or the dynamic as an adult. That's a bullshit lie. These people are stupid. This person is stupid. That's a lie. Nobody said that. All of this is just more deflection away from the actual problem in estrangement, which again is the conflictual relationship between the parent and the adult child and the parent's refusal to acknowledge or change. See right there, this person's blaming the parents. Each situation is different. This person's full of crap. And I don't like that my comment was deleted because now this is taken out, the whole thing is taken out of context. This is bullshit. I'm not putting up with this. I'm not going to post on this video anymore. They're not dealing fairly with me. I don't know who's doing this. Like I said, it could be YouTube, could be the channel owner. I don't know. That part I'm not going to say because I really don't know. But I don't like what's happening. I'm not going to put up with it, you know. I can't control what people do on their channels. But I don't have to be there to put up with this shit. Okay. And then I responded to that person. I said, you do realize that my comments are reality. You need structure in life or else everything will crumble. I asked, do you have a job in the real world? Do you think you can go to your job and do whatever you want and talk to your boss however you want and not carry out your duties and still have a job and get paid? Do you drive a vehicle? Do you think you can drive however you want without obeying traffic laws and perhaps just go through red lights and run over pedestrians without consequences? Children need boundaries and structure. Spoiled children are not happy children. Children need to know that they are loved enough that you will teach them what they need to know to succeed in adult life. It's not a toxic mentality, as you call it. It is being responsible for yourself and your behavior. It is more than obvious that you want the parent to be responsible for their behavior, whilst you are not responsible for yours, but pass that responsibility to the parent. It doesn't work that way. Sooner or later, you need to be responsible for your own behavior. It is not a rigid stance, and obviously you don't treat adult children the same as children who are still children and under the age of majority. You really have no clue what you're talking about. Your ideals would be the destruction of society. Okay, so see that comment was left up, but the other one prior to that was deleted, which is total bullshit. And then the other one, I don't want to make this too long. I just want to say enough to make a point. Okay, the next comment, I don't really have to go. Let's see now. Okay, I also mentioned about family scapegoat abuse, narcissistic family systems, and all that dysfunctions. Um, I keep saying the same thing that every family is different, which is true. So, but they keep broad, broad brushing. Okay, now this is strange. Now, okay, I don't understand this. This one, no matter how this person responds, no matter how individual or complicated estrangement is, there are commonalities that researchers have identified through multiple studies. That one seems to be missing. So I guess this person's, but that doesn't make sense because when I'm under the page and I'm not signed in, it doesn't appear, but when I'm signed in, no, it doesn't. It appears, but it doesn't. That's weird. Anyways, this person's talking about some crap, these stats. Okay, I don't really give a crap about stats. Stats are not conclusive because it depends on the demographic, on who they took the stats on, their culture, their age, their ethnic origin even, because that affects culture, where, economic status, um, if they're taking surveys, how do they know people are telling the truth? I mean, come on. I don't believe in stats really. It's a measurement tool, not necessarily accurate. Yeah, that's weird how that comment's not there. Okay, whatever. So then the person, this is the attitude of this person. You can see that they're blaming the estranged parent. They're not taking each case as an individual. This person's arrogant as hell. So this is what the person says. Quotes means is about when I said it is more than obvious that you want the parent to be responsible for their behavior, whilst you are not responsible for yours but pass that responsibility to the parent. Person says not at all. Given that the source of estrangement is the conflictual relationship with the parent, if the parent is not willing to acknowledge or change, that is where the issue falls and must be addressed first. In caps. Really. Maybe in some cases, not every case. That's the point. This person's an asshole. What it is a situation of long-term disconnect between the parent and the child, as the abundance of research indicates, meaning the disconnect goes back to childhood, and there is and will always be a power imbalance within the parent-child relationship. It is the parent who must address the relational concerns of the adult child, if there is to be repair. Sure, there is likely problematic behaviors on both sides, but it is the parent who must be willing to address the long-term relational dynamic concerns of their child for relational improvement to have potential to occur. That is where the effort starts, and only after showcasing the sincere intent and discernible action of making relational improvement to address their, again, long-term and ongoing concerns, can there be the establishment of emotional safety to address the relationship holistically. To simplify, it is the parent who broke the relationship, so it is the parent that must initiate the repair. Okay, you're full of crap. Right there, it is the parent who broke the relationship, so it's the parent that must initiate repair. This person is 100% blaming the parent, which isn't the case in every case. This person's a walking statistic, looks like. Okay, and then I respond, I thought they were maybe from the Netherlands because they don't seem to like authority over there as much as our culture. So I don't know who this person is, but their first name they have a picture of a building of fire. It could be, who knows, maybe the fire in Rome. I don't know, ancient Rome. And then they change their name after to a name which is a Greek goddess. So this person's obviously, and they're an atheist too. I think they don't believe in God. So this person obviously does have an agenda. So I responded and said, you have an agenda. Are you from the Netherlands by any chance? That could explain a lot. Culture there is very different regarding child rearing. What you are touting is basically socialism, which you don't agree with. You have totally invalidated the reality of family dysfunction, which is a big factor. You don't understand the total dynamics of each family, so you are in no position to judge. You refuse to answer questions. Why? Do you have any kids? How old are you? There was another on here that was from the Netherlands and admits on her page not being interested in kids. Ugh. And that's what the person said. Yet here supposedly advocating for adult children when you don't even like kids. See, that doesn't make any sense to me. So that one was kept up. And then after that, you stated, and I quote, and that one seems to have stayed up. Then I said, you stated, and I quote, it is the parent who broke the relationship, so it is the parent that must initiate the repair. Right there, you are making a judgment without taking into account the family dynamics. You really don't know what you are talking about. I gave you scenarios that you chose to ignore because it doesn't suit your agenda. Ever heard of family scapegoat abuse? Ever heard of parental alienation? Ever heard of grandparental alienation? Ever heard of addictions? Ever heard of cults? Ever heard of spoiled kids? Ever heard of mental illness? Ever heard of personality disorders? Ever heard of societal values or lack thereof? Okay, so then the person comments, and you know what? The questions I asked previously never answered me. So then the person comments with some more crappy research statistics and says, I must say your responses are certainly telling. No, they're not. You just don't want to answer the questions because you prove yourself to be an idiot. Person claims you're not from the Netherlands. Interesting, I would do something that says about uh, the research suggests that children in the Netherlands are among the happiest in the world, and UNICEF report and all that. Okay, whatever. That's not the point. The reason I said that is because her attitude sounds very similar to another person that was posting on this um, video or channel or whatever that is from there. So that's the reason I said it. And then the person is questioning, I'm equating Netherlands parental style to socialism. And the person's telling me socialism is an economic and political system. Okay, so you're going to tell me that when you live in a country, your political system doesn't affect the child rearing. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because government has influence in your life. Yes, it does. Just like if you were under a communist country, you're going to see that doesn't affect how the kids are raised. Yes, it does. So this person is full of shit. They're trying to sound like they're so smart. They're not smart at all. Because they're saying it's just a political thing. It doesn't affect the child rearing. Yes, it does. So the person asks if I'm equating parenting to economic and political structures. Yes, I am to a degree. Yes, because I forget what it was. I was listening to this thing. It might be Iceland or something. I don't know. It was quite a while back. Basically, okay. Um, the government has things like the child's welfare system, which can interfere with people how they're parenting their kids. Some cases are abuse, some really aren't. Um, it's like the societal values change. Let's say the society says that you should be able to allow your kids to play um, how whatever so many hours, let's say video games in a day. And let's say you don't agree with that. Well, if that's what the government's promoting, they could consider you being abusive if you don't go by their standards or their guidelines or whatever. So I don't know how to give another example. I don't really have one, but because where I am, it's we still have basic rights. But yeah, that's this person is full of shit because yes, the politics does reflect on that because that determines some of your the societal like the standards, the guidelines. Yes, it does. And this person is claiming it doesn't. Yes, it does. And socialism is, to me, it's like a mild form of communism where the government, parental authority base is taken from the parents and given more so to the government. That's how I see it. And communism would be the ultimate for that. And yes, it is. Okay, but this person thinks they know it all, but they don't. And the person says, as it relates to family dysfunction, I have in no way invalidated that reality. Really? No, you haven't. Persons, I typically don't answer questions that are irrelevant to the topic in its larger sense. What would it matter if I am from the Netherlands or not? The topic of parent-child relationships is a universal one. Okay, stupid. This is why it matters. It's because different countries have different cultures. Different cultures have different ways to raise children. That's why it matters. Okay, then the person says, but to humor you, I am Gen X, and yes, I am a parent. Okay, I never asked this person what generation they came from. I asked them how old they were. So they don't even understand English, or they want to control things. They want to answer it how they want to answer it. I never asked them what generation they're from. I could care less. I asked when I go back to it. Oh, where was it? I asked how old. Yeah, I says, do you have kids? I says, how old are you? That's what I said. Exact words. I didn't say what generation you come from, but the person answered with a generation because they're one of these goofballs, and they have this agenda, and they split people in generations and pit one generation against another. I've seen this on another channel where they attack boomers. So I really don't put up with shit like that, and I don't go for that. I don't want to hear that kind of crap. Anyways, this person talks like they know everything. Person says, I don't believe there's anything in your comment thread I haven't addressed. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is. Okay, so it says then the person says, so why don't won't you address the recurrent commentary I've provided that estrangement is the result of ongoing, long-term conflictual relational dynamics between parents and children, adult children, and the determination by the adult child based on those experiences that the parent will not change and that relationship repair is therefore impossible. See, blaming the parent again. Not in every case. Why will you not acknowledge the fundamental role of the parent in the estrangement situation that was initiated by the adult child as a result of dysfunctional family dynamics of which the parent is the leader head? Okay, right there, you're full of crappy shit. That's not always the case. I'm not going to say really quickly, in my case, I'm the family scapegoat. My mom, I believe she's a narcissist, and I base this on knowing her for decades, okay? She's being diagnosed, but yes, I would say so. Okay, so based on her pitting my own kids against me, that is not because of me. The only mistake I made was when I was younger, I thought that she should have a relationship with her grandchildren, so I never set up a boundary around that, which if I had to do it again, I would have. But this person's full of crap. They're blaming the parent again. Not always. Not when you got that kind of scapegoat family abuse and the grandparent pits the grandkids against their own parent. But this person doesn't allow for that because they know it all and they think it's only the parent's fault 100% of the time. But they don't know every person, they don't know every situation, but they judge. So, then what happened? Just hold on a minute. These posts, because I have to compare which posts were deleted. So it looks like this one, the two posts were left. Okay, so basically I said, you'll take anything I say and twist it. You think you know it all, but you don't. Have you ever been a victim of family scapegoat abuse? If not, then hold your judgments. So I said, it matters if you are from the Netherlands since the parenting style and culture is different. You also don't believe in God and are not a Christian as far as I know. And I'm basing that on the previous post that the person made. That is another big difference in worldviews and parenting styles, and it is. It really is. So, I said, you invalidated a lot of what I've said. That is your problem. You don't have to agree with me, but I know how I grew up and I know what I went through with my own kids. Nothing you say can change reality. You weren't there, so you have no right to judge. You never ask questions, you just judge with your uppity attitude. Comes across loud and clear, and I don't appreciate it. Now, there is another. Just hold on a minute. I don't know if there's another post that was deleted here because something's not adding up. There might be. I don't know which post it was, but I know from memory this person questioned my being the scapegoat. I don't know what a scapegoat is, as in the scapegoat family scapegoat abuse, as in the oh, what is it? The identified patient. I don't see that here unless I'm missing something. So that could have been deleted. I don't know. So the person has the nerve basically to say that I wasn't the scapegoat, or I don't know what a scapegoat is. Oh, yes, I do. I know what it was. It was when I think it was deleted. I don't know. It was when I was explaining uh, about my mom and that I am a scapegoat of the family and about my mom and that she pitted my kids against me. And then this person saying that that's not considered scapegoat abuse. Like to be a scapegoat is when someone pits against. And I said, yes, because part of it is the alienation, casting out. Yes, it is. So this person does, this is the thing. I've seen this a lot on YouTube, the internet here. Some people, they try and act like they're so intelligent, but it's a pseudo intelligence. They don't know jack shit. They just get some crap off the internet and copy paste. And this person is relying on stats, which, like I said, is not foolproof. Okay. So then I explained about the mum thing and that. And I said to stop judging people that you don't know, not helping anyone with the diatribes. Okay. So then this person responds and says, they're not twisting my words or reflecting them back to me. No, you're not. You're a liar. And then the person said, you equated that style of child rearing to socialism, which I pointed out is not a child rearing style, but a form of economic and political structure. Well, you're stupid because, like I said, whatever your politics is in the country is going to reflect in the societal values, and part of that includes how the kids are raised and what's expected out of the parents. And if you have like the government, which controls the social welfare system, the child welfare, you're going to tell me that doesn't play a role. Well, you're full of shit because it does. This person does not know what they're talking about. They're something upstairs not right. And then the person says, I'm now introducing the concept of God in Christianity, puts God lowercase, disrespectful, to the conversation, its impacts on worldviews and parenting styles. Okay, so person says they don't broad brush, which they do. Keeps accusing me. Some snobbery here. I do not broad brush assumptions. I present findings of research. See, it's all about the stats with this person. They don't have a brain. They can't think on their own. Do you understand how research operates? Yes. Yeah, I understand that it's not foolproof. That's what I understand. Did you know that theories are changing all the time? Okay, doctors change theories regarding physical stuff and then mental stuff. Go back a couple of 100 years. What the theory was, is it the same today? Maybe some of it is, but it changes. The vast and disparate data is collected and analyzed to uncover themes. Oh, really? Those themes are then analyzed for sub-themes and nuances that fit within the overarching themes. But there are still themes that emerge from the research. She seems to be obsessed with themes. The research is derived from real life and real subjects. Yeah, that's right, but you know what? What are the demographics of that real life and these real subjects? Can you prove they're telling the 100% real truth? And then the person says you want to deflect that such data collection and theme analysis can't represent reality when it is by its nature derived from reality. Research is not fiction, however you may wish it to be. Well, you know what? You don't live in reality because you copy paste this crap probably from the internet. And there's proof on the internet that statistics are not foolproof. Oh, now I got this what I was talking about the identified patient. So here it is. The person says to me, I am quite familiar with scapegoating abuse. Oh, really? It is also referenced as being the identified patient. Well, right there, the person's wrong. There is a person on here that is an actual doctor, therapist, and they do videos regarding family scapegoat abuse. Now, you could be called the identified patient, but not necessarily. And the person says, are you familiar with that term? See the arrogance there, assuming that I don't know it. Scapegoating is when the family unconsciously displaces their collective psychological difficulties and complexes upon a specific family member. They become the bad kid, the difficult child, etc. What you have described doesn't really fit the description. Intentional alienation, if that is the case in your family, is not scapegoating. Those are different forms of abuse. Well, you know what? You're full of shit, lady. And you know what? For your information, scapegoating is not unconsciously displacing difficulties. You're full of shit. Scapegoating, actually, origins come from the Bible, from the Old Testament, where all the sins were put on the scapegoat and the scapegoat was cast out. And in the New Testament, Jesus was a form of a scapegoat because all the sins of the world were put on him. Basically, a scapegoat, and it's not unconscious, it's done on purpose, where a particular person is targeted to be basically the emotional dumpster, where all the problems are blamed. You never do anything right. Your accomplishments aren't acknowledged. All you get is criticism, no praise. You're not valued as a human being. You're just basically the dumpster, the emotional dumpster. So this person's full of shit. And part of dumping on you and abusing you is part of the scapegoat because they consider that you're bad, no good. Yeah, they would try and turn the kids against you because bad mouthing you behind your back to your own kids is a form of scapegoating. Yeah, it is. So this person doesn't know that. And yet this arrogant piece of crap is going to say, if that's the case of my family, it's not scapegoating. No, you're full of shit. You don't know jack shit because you weren't there. And then I said about what happened with my daughter and my son. I'm not going to repeat it again. Basically, with my daughter, she had a kid. She abandoned him after 10 days. I decided to raise him as my own because I didn't want him to be in the welfare system because the welfare system is corrupt as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so he's doing fine. I keep him away from my mom, so that is going to happen again. And with my son, it's a little bit different. He met an Eastern European. We didn't know this person. There's lots of marriage fraud. Um, she didn't want to get to know the family. I don't trust it. I think she used him to get in the country, but how can I prove that? I don't know. So she basically I guess, didn't like him having contact with his family, and he basically chose her, so that's fine. He can do whatever he wants. He's grown up, right? It's too complicated to get into in a few things, but and then you got that on top of my whole life. My mom has been bad mouthing me behind my back, and lately In the past year, I've proof of that. I always knew it was going on. I just hadn't need proof, and I have proof of that. So yeah, when those people do that, yeah, it does. It's like planting poisonous seeds in people's minds. A lot of people are affected by that. Unless they've got a really strong mind and they can say no, that's not true. It does happen. There's lots of cases with parental alienation that is legit. People are married, they get divorced, the ex person alienates the kid from the other parent. So it's kind of the same thing, except it's done by the grandparent with their grandchildren against their own kids. So yeah, so this person basically says that what I'm saying isn't true. That's not like that. Well, yes, it is like that. And you're an idiot because you don't know anything. You have a pseudo intelligence. You don't think. You just quote stats. You're a stat quoter. So then the person, this is the arrogance what I'm talking about. Then the person says, I will not speculate on the bits of story you have shared. I will only again reiterate that from the standpoint of parent-adult-child estrangement or family estrangement in general, it is something which stems from continuously conflictual relationship dynamics. I am not making any assumptions or judgments in sharing that. It is a result of numerous research studies. Again, the research, the stats. If that hits home to you, examine that. Oh, really? Jab? It is also often the case that there is unhealed, unaddressed intergenerational traumas and a relationship dysfunction involved. If that hits home to you, examine that. Why don't you examine yourself, asshole? This is bullshit. This person is an evil person. They're trying to trigger me. It's kind of obvious. And then what does the person say next? That proves what I just said. Examine why you are so triggered by these comments and considerations put in front of you. You know what? The person just admitted that they're trying to trigger me. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to do. That's their intention. Then the person says, you say you are not the reason for the estrangement, which is true. That's what I said. As I have shared from the research, say research against stats, estrangement is rarely about a singular reason or event, but is a process that evolves over years, decades. What would your children say is your role at any point in time or has evolved? Do you know? The question isn't posed as an attack, but as a query for consideration. Well, I consider you query yourself. This person just comes across as an arrogant asshole. They think they quote stats. Their whole life is a stat. Okay, so then what happened? I had some of my posts deleted. So then I basically told the person that they come across as inhuman because they're quoting stats. You're a walking statistic. You seem to have no empathy at all. If you really understood scapegoat family abuse, you wouldn't respond like that, and you don't answer questions honestly. I asked you how old you were. I did not ask you what generation you belonged to. It is more than obvious to me that you want to control the narrative and that you do not respect boundaries. You have the audacity to say that I am not the scapegoat, really? I didn't give my whole history, but I guarantee you I am the scapegoat. If you were so smart like you think you are, you would know that part of being scapegoated is being alienated and cast out. You also don't understand how it works when a narcissistic parent pits your kids against you. It is very similar to parental alienation. I did not raise my kids how I was raised. I set limits and boundaries. I listened to them and explained why they were not allowed to do certain things. Now, I said in my daughter's case, I have to protect my grandson from her lifestyle and the types of people she hangs around. They are criminals. The reason I say that is because with the drug thing. And no, I never modeled that. I don't do drugs. I don't drink even. There was no alcohol abuse or drug abuse in my family. There is alcohol abuse in my family of origin, though, but I do not carry that. And then I said regarding my son and with the wife thing, we tried to communicate. She didn't want to. So that's what happened on that one, which I can't do nothing about. Because I did try to resolve issues and the person wasn't open to it. So there's nothing you can do. So then I said, and then you stated, and I quote, I will not speculate on the bits of story you have shared. Who asked you to speculate? You have no right to. That is my life and experience. You've shown zero empathy, so you have told on yourself what kind of person you are. You are cold-hearted and robotic. You have no humanity that I can see. I can't even imagine responding to someone like you did. Lucky for me, I've worked out a lot of my pain, or else comments like yours would have sent me off the edge if I was in a lot of pain and in the early stages of estrangement. Which is true. Which is another reason I have a big problem with this bullshit. Because if people are in the early stages and they're really hurting bad, these kind of comments can put some people over the edge. This shouldn't be allowed. So I don't say YouTube is at fault. Well, YouTube allows their okay. You know what? Whoever the channel owner is, that's their responsibility to control, moderate their channel. That's who I'm blaming. And the thing is, I do believe in free speech, but there is a line that if someone crosses the line, no, to attack people like if this is catered to estranged parents and they're being attacked like this, and you're not moderating it, that's bullshit. They can say their opinion, but if they say it, depending how they're wording it though, if they're wording it in such a way to attack and to do the public victim blaming and shaming thing, that's wrong. And it should be deleted, but it isn't. It's kept up here. So anyways, okay, so anyways, my stuff was deleted. And then I commented another one that was deleted about the socialism. I said it affects how the kids are raised, where the parental authorities transfer the parents onto the government. And it is. With the socialism and certainly with communism, it is. That is how it is. And then the person does talk about how they're, how they parent to make it look like they're the perfect parent. So those two posts were deleted. I don't know who deleted them, YouTube or the channel owner, but they were deleted. The next two posts I made, how statistics can be misleading, those were not deleted. So because this person is so much on statistics, I posted how statistics can be misleading, bad sampling, wrong sample size, no representative sample, misinformation, wholly invented numerical data, fabricated results, not reporting errors, neglecting the baseline, ignoring an important baseline for comparison. And I made another post, limitations of statistics. Statistics does not deal with individual measurements. Statistics deals only with quantitative characteristics. Statistical results are truly only on an average. Statistics is only one of the methods of studying a problem. Statistics can be misused. Okay. Because this person is using that to make a point, and I'm saying bullshit. You can't use statistics like that. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%. And then what's really strange that I don't understand, there was one comment here when I'm signed in. It doesn't appear that this person made, but yet it appears on the one when I'm not signed in. Okay, I don't get that. So I'm going to read some of it, not the statistical part, because it's boring. Okay, so the person says, how truly, truly sad. See the condescension there. You will do anything to deflect from the reality of parental responsibility in parent-adult-child estrangement. That is as telling as anything regarding your own situation. Well, you know what? You can do that. You could stick that one. That's just total, utter bullshit. Just stick that up your Gibbeaster. I really don't appreciate that. The person is a one-track mind. It's the parent's fault no matter what, which is bullshit. Every case is different. And the person says, these studies I reference are published in peer-reviewed academic journals. Well, good for you. You're an academic. Too bad you can't reason. And include rigorous methodologies. It is not one study but multiple. Well, good for you. You can have as many studies as you want. The point is, you're blaming 100% all the time the parents, and that's not reasonable, and it's not true. Then the person says the source of estrangement is continuously conflictual relationships where one part, notice it says one party, not two, where one party refuses to hear the other side, to acknowledge their role in the relationship dysfunction or how their behaviors have been harmful to the other party, period. So they're demanding, they're making a statement like, this is how it is, and that's just how it is, period. I know everything. Well, you're full of crap. Relationships involve two people. It isn't necessarily one side. Everyone is different. And then for more studies, which I could care less. Then the person says at the end of all their studies, which I'm not going to explain because this is really long and boring. If you find the video, you can read it yourself. But the person says, by all means, continue to deflect on the reasons for estrangement. You are simply proving the study's correct. No, I'm not. I'm proving you're full of shit. And that you can't think outside of a book. That's what I'm proving. Now, I don't know why, but that person with all those studies, that was deleted. It's really weird how it shows up on that one page when I'm not signed in, but it doesn't show up when I am signed in. Which is weird. Okay. So basically I responded to that. And I just said I made a comment to you and I don't know why, but it seems disappeared. I said I don't appreciate the how truly, truly sad comment. You're acting like you are superior, which you are not. And I did give an example and the person did invalidate it. I said there are many factors in estrangement. You don't want to accept that because you totally rely on statistics and forgot about real life. Every situation is different and nothing you say will change that. I'm not deflecting anything. You can have disagreements with your kids, but that doesn't warrant estrangement. Like I said, I am the scapegoat in my family, and my narcissistic mother has tried to do the most damage she could do to my life. That is reality because I lived it. And then I explained all this, and I said, the person has no empathy, huge red flag. I said, you have decided in advance why estrangement happens, and then you look for stats to back up your presumption. Instead, it would be more accurate to get the facts of the situation first and then make an assessment. And then I asked the person, said, why are you here anyways? What purpose do you serve? You have kids, and according to you, you are the perfect parent. Your kids are grown or not. Are you estranged from your own parents? If so, then why? If you can't relate to an estranged parent that is not abusive, then you serve no purpose on videos like this. The reason I'm saying that is because this person is constantly making it all the parents' fault when she doesn't know the person. So then the person does not answer my questions. This is how they respond. At this point, all I could say is that I hope that you have a therapist, are honest and authentic with them in your sessions, and can find your way to some level of healing. All of my previous comments stand. Okay, this person totally ignored my questions, and now they're being condescending again and being an asshole and saying they hope I have a therapist and that I'm honest with the therapist, which is assuming that if I had a therapist, I wouldn't be honest with them. It's an idiotic comment. Total idiotic. All of my previous comments stand. I could care. No, they don't stand. They're full of shit. They don't stand. I already proved stats are not foolproof. So then I basically said to that person, I said, you just can't help yourself when it comes to the demeaning comments, can you? All your previous comments are crap. Every situation is different. Not every parent is abusive. That is a fact. And I said, I'm doing fine. I don't need the healing. I said, my kids, they know where I am. I've accepted these strange, which I have. I've dealt with it. And I am current with my family situation, with my husband, my grandson, and my toy poodle, which is true. It's a small family, but it's fine. There's no dysfunction here like how I grew up. But my mom is a different thing, but I'll go a different video on that. I'm going to do something about that cancer scare that was fake. That happened this year early. Well, actually last year now. And then with the golden child's sibling. Okay, so that was the last time. So that was my last comment to that person, and I never responded back. But what happened was, it was maybe a day later, a different person, just out of the blue, targeted me and said this: I'm not sure what your criteria are for determining demeaning comments. Seems like the comments are just not what you want to hear. Well, you know what? It's kind of obvious that's the same person. This person's so stupid. It's so obvious they're the same person because they targeted me out of the blue and referred to the demeaning comment. So it's the same person. This person's some kind of wacko because I don't know if that person was blocked, but why weren't their comments removed? And then they're making another name, and that name was made. That new channel was December 31st. I could double check. And they made that channel the same day that they posted. Yeah, I did because I said that. So I responded to that person. I said, oh, really? New account open today? Similar type names? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not wasting any more time on troll type accounts. You and company are big energy drainers. I think whomever is opening up new accounts to keep the so-called dialogue going on here is the one who needs therapy. Okay, yeah, they are. That's the thing with the energy. I don't have that problem right now, but yeah, that was an energy drainer. It really was. So I need to get a handle on this and stop participating because this really isn't good for me. And it's not doing anything. Okay, so what happened is I made that comment about, oh, really, the new account. And then I have some comments that were deleted again. Just hold on a minute. This is really weird. So I basically, this comment was deleted. I said to the person, I don't care what you think. You don't know me or my life, and your judgments are wrong. That is that. You're the same person, aren't you? I think you need to take a look at why you don't respect people's boundaries and keep coming on here with new accounts. That is dysfunctional what you are doing. You're trying to force your opinion and control other people. I'm not continuing with this conversation of yours. Don't care what you think or your stats. Not my problem. No one has to prove anything to you. Goodbye. Now I wanted to keep it at that. And you know what? That comment, when I go to the page that's not signed in, that comment was deleted. Now the next comment, what is further interesting. Now one of that person's comments, it looks like it was deleted. But why is it appearing on this page? This is really confusing. So this is what the person responds to me, says, what I find interesting but not at all unexpected is the intolerance of channels like this and commenters like yourself to voices that tell you actual truth, backed by evidence, because it goes against the preferred narrative. The refusal on the estranged parent end to face and hear the uncomfortable doesn't refute it. It just proves the point when the main issue with estrangement is the refusal of the estranged parent to listen to their adult child. The more elaborate or dug in the deflection, the more toxic the dynamic that the person is trying to deflect from. This person's full of shit. Again, blaming it all on this estranged parent. Not always the case, though. Then I made a comment to that. I said, just to add, just hold on, just to add that you seem to have a very big problem accepting the fact that people don't have to agree with you or see things the way you do. That seems to be a problem with some commenters on channels like this that keep coming back with new accounts and names, but are basically the same person. You obviously have some trauma that you haven't healed, or else you wouldn't feel a need to do this. If I'm blocked off a channel and no one wants to listen to me, I then move on. I suggest you do the same. Again, goodbye. So I'm getting trying to get rid of the person, telling them to buzz off, basically. They don't get the hint. So then, believe it or not, the person again comments again. This time, the person says, what is further interesting is someone whose own recent video is all about the pain of not being heard or valued within family cannot see that same dynamic in the comment threads on channels like this one. That what the estranged adult child are calling out is a dysfunctional dynamic you yourself talk about in your video. Now, I'm going to correct this person. This person's full of crap. That video I did is referring to the one regarding the golden child and the scapegoat child non-relationship. That video is just about me and my older golden child sister. That's not the whole family. It would take a long time to go through all that. That's just one aspect. So then the person says, those that can't hear you are awful and evil, but you don't need to hear them. You don't need to listen to others calling out that same dynamic of dysfunction, being devalued and dismissed in their families, or that such behavior is what underlies estrangement overall. Okay, first of all, this person is stupid. I never said that. If you really are devaluing someone and dismissing them, that is kind of a form of abuse. I never said I did that. I never said any. You can't prove that all these parents are doing that. So then the person says, what you demand for a two-sided relationship or conversation doesn't apply if the other side has a different viewpoint that doesn't fit your narrative or agenda. It's so easy to dismiss or degrade others, isn't it? But when you feel dismissed, the sting you feel in your perception of that dismissal, real or not, again, see now they're questioning my reality, gaslighting. Yeah. Is automatically the fault of that other party, not your perception or refusal to listen. It's listen to me, but I don't listen to the. Okay, this person's full of crap. Totally. Person's full of shit. This is a very twisted individual. They keep twisting things around. And they're basically targeting me and using my video is pretty a low blow because it has nothing to do with this here. That's regarding my sister and me. And what the dynamic. And it's the truth. What I said in the video. And there's more to it. Because that relationship has been crap ever since I remember. So this person has no right to say what they're saying because they're taking something I did and misusing it to prove a point. And making up, this person's deranged. Totally deranged. Okay, so after that, I had some comments erased. So I basically asked the person, I said, are you a narcissist? I'd have to ask, since you are using my dysfunctional family of origin against me. That is totally sick. You have major problems. My family of origin is not the same as my own family. No comparison. I've already told you my story, so I'm not repeating it again here. I can do as many videos as I want and will continue to do so to explain the dysfunctional family dynamics and family scapegoat abuse. You just can't understand that regarding estranged parents, not all parents abuse their kids. There are many reasons for estrangements. I don't want to hear your stats and or accusations. Goodbye. Again, I'm telling them, buzz off. Okay, just buzz off. And then again, I'd say to that person, I said, I'd have to ask you, what kind of a person are you? You obviously feed off of other people's negative emotions. That video you referred to was about me and my golden child older sister, who is more than likely a narcissist. You have no clue at all. You've got a lot of nerve making judgments about someone you don't even know. My non-relationship dynamic with my sister is my business and not yours. I did that video for the benefit of others going through similar situations, which has nothing whatsoever to do with you. I'm going to only ask you one more time to respect my boundaries. I don't want to converse with you any further. I find you to be a toxic individual, and obviously I'm not getting through to you. You are incapable of having a civil conversation. You just have to put your narcissistic jabs in there for good measure. Enough is enough already. Bugger off. And for the last time, not every estranged parent is an abuser. Okay, it looks like that comment was deleted. Now, then the person comments to me and says, sure, calling your sister a nasty piece of garbage when she conveyed a higher level of concern over her husband's actual and potentially lethal blood clot, over checking in with you regarding the possibility you could contract COVID because of an asthma condition, is surely not a reflection, it should be a reflection, not an, poor grammar, not a reflection of hurt, pain, or other emotion. Oh, wait, maybe you are right. I did hear you wrong. I wonder what I could have missed. Okay, what the hell is that supposed to mean? This person is clearly an asshole. Now, just to correct you, know it all, the higher level of concern regarding the husband's actual blood clot, that's not how it is. This is how it is. And oh, by the way, I have to correct you. You cannot contract COVID because of an asthma condition. What it is if you did get that virus because you have asthma and because that virus attacks your respiratory system, and if you have asthma, it could be lethal. That's what it means. So this idiot is saying that it's a higher level of concern over my sister's husband with a blood clot. Well, you know what? That guy used to drink like a fish. He probably caused his own health problems from being a boozer. And maybe poor diet. Who knows? He's a boozer. Probably quit drinking now, but I don't know. I really don't. The relationship isn't there for me to know everything. Okay, this was my point. The virus thing, we're talking about a span of 2 years. My sister not once phoned me to see how I was doing, and I do have asthma. Okay. She didn't care. So what happened was I ended up phoning her one day regarding that and basically asked her, okay, well, I have the decency to phone you to see how you're doing with the virus, like with a 2 year period, and within their iPhone. And I said, how come you couldn't do the same for me? You couldn't phone me to see how I'm doing, considering I have asthma. Once I said that, then she got defensive, like she always does when I confront her on things. And then she said about, oh, all she cares about is her husband because he had the blood clot. I guess he had a blood clot in his leg, and then it moved to his lungs, and then he had to take something to get it to dissolve it or something. I don't believe he still has it, you know. So she was saying that if he got the virus, then he could be dead. Which, if he does have it, yeah, he could be because that is true. But by the same token, considering I have asthma, if I got the virus, I could be dead too. Probably not, but it could happen because it attacks your respiratory system. And asthma is a respiratory disease. So, yeah. So she said that to me, basically, in other words, basically saying, all I care about is husband, fuck you, I don't care about you. That's basically what she did, and then she hung up on me. And this person, this nasty person here on YouTube, is using that against me. That's sick. This person's sick. I don't care what anyone thinks. They're sick to do that. That's the evil thing to do. It really is. So that's like saying my life isn't worth anything. But my sister's husband's life is. Is that what you're saying? So the way the person says over her husband's, and she puts in all caps, actual. But with me with the asthma, it's could. Well, you're full of shit, lady. You don't know jack shit about asthma. Or anything else, mind you. There was a case, I don't know this person, but I was told this person, he had asthma, he's an older person. The people, like his wife or whatever, went out to shopping. They came back and he's dead. Because if you get a really bad asthma attack, I had this happen. Well, I had lots when I was younger, but this was when I was um, young adult. I was staying in this basement suite and I was kept getting asthma attacks. Couldn't figure out why because I always make sure that people that don't have no animals like cats, cat hair is bad. And I kept getting sick. Okay, one time I got so sick that I literally had to stick my head out the window trying to grasp for air. And I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even talk. So I wasn't by myself. But if I was by myself because it was so bad that I couldn't talk, I wouldn't have been able to call 911 for help. I would have been dead. Or I'd have to go. I don't know if I'd be able to do it even. I'd have to go, outside of the house and go to someone else's house trying to find help, but it, probably not likely because you can only survive so long without air. So this person is an asshole. I even mentioned this to my husband, and he said, "Yeah, well, how long are you gonna live without breathing?" I'm not. This person is a total. I don't know. There's not even a swear word that is bad enough to describe this. This is just total evil. This person did this on purpose. They're trying to. This person is on the internet to hurt people. This person's evil, whoever they are. To say something like that. Saying with my sister's husband, for him it's an actual concern because he has a blood clot, but for me it's not actual because it's asthma. Go to hell, asshole. Anyways, so then after that, I had made some comments and they were deleted. So I basically said to that person, this was deleted, I said, I'm laughing my head off at your pathetic attempts to hurt me. Nice try, but no cigar. Twisting things around like usual? You're really good at that. Must have lots of practice. Yeah, my sister is a nasty piece of garbage, based on her character or lack thereof, and how she lies and is selfish and narcissistic. She had no higher level of concern over her husband. Her husband is also a goof. So you think asthma is not actual? You're a goof. People die of asthma attacks all the time, and you can't be that intelligent because you don't contract a virus because of an asthma condition. The asthma condition, as you call it, would intensify the viral infection. Shows how much you know. Your true evil nature is showing on the internet for everyone to see. How you bother people and make new accounts to continue to bother people that don't want to converse with you. You cry abuse to estranged parents, but based on your own posts, you yourself are abusive. The point was not a higher level of concern, but her acting like I don't count. If I got the virus and having asthma, I could have died. That was the point. It was more a reflection on what kind of person she is, that she couldn't take 5 minutes of her time in 2 years to call and ask how I was, only showing what a piece of garbage she really is and that she is selfish. All she does is take. She doesn't know how to be fair or reciprocate. Hurt? Not really. Just confirmation of who she is, that is all. She hasn't changed and won't change. Hopeless case. Got any more garbage for me to take out? And then I made another account which also seems to have disappeared. I said, it seems my comments are disappearing. I don't like wasting my time, so just to let you know that yes, my sister is a nasty piece of garbage. She decided to be that way, so that is her problem. A selfish, cold narcissist. Only wanted my parents for money. After my dad died, my narcissistic mom wasn't giving her any more money, so the contact stopped. She could care less about anyone except maybe her sick, perverted husband. Probably just a front and not genuine. I know her and you don't. Decades of experience. She's a lost cause. As for you, you've got problems. I'm not responding to you anymore. Not wasting time and control my time and comments keep disappearing. Okay, so I have to resend that because I did comment after that. I got to interject here. I think I have a problem with this. I think it's because I'm not making excuses, but maybe I am. I don't know. I think this is related to how I brought up because I'm the scapegoat. I really have a major problem with being unfairly attacked, like falsely accused of being a certain way or thinking a certain way or whatever. That really bothers me. It triggers me. So I have this need to defend myself for some reason. I really need to get over that, but that's what I do, and I still do it from time to time. I'm still trying to overcome that because it's really not good for me. That's what I do. I keep fighting back. Okay, so the next one comment, that one was kept up. I'm not going to say it because it says the name. I'm not going to really have to do names. But it basically says what happened to the other person. I haven't seen her around for a while. LOL. Hey, maybe you need to make another account. Not like anyone has figured out what you're doing. LOL. So that one appeared. And then this is the last comment. The person responds back to me and says, there it is. The utterly predictable deflection. I truly hope you explore therapy and find healing. Okay, asshole, listen here. It's not a deflection. This is who you are. You keep making new accounts and bothering people and making false accusations and trying to hurt people and make jabs. That's what you do. That's really weird. Something really strange. Ugh, whatever. Okay, so I don't know. This is really weird because I'm signed in here in the way these. Okay, so basically that was it. But I made a comment after that and it was deleted. It doesn't show up. So I'm going to just read that. I'm going to say, I have no clue why your comments are even posting. You should have been blocked repeatedly with your many alias accounts. What really is your problem? It's not deflection. I have nothing to deflect. I'm content with my life. I've dealt with my family of origin issues. I make videos to help others. I'm not in the need of therapy. Speaking of therapy, do you think that perhaps you need therapy considering what you are doing here? Do you think that it is normal to judge people you don't know and then when you are blocked to come back to the same video and do the same thing under another name? Do you really think what you are doing is normal? Listening to my video and trying to come here and publicly shame me? Do you think you and your abuse are normal? I wouldn't put up with you on my channel. For the last time, please respect boundaries. I consider your behavior to be highly manipulative and abusive. I'm telling you to stop. And that was deleted. And I thought, well, it's not deleted. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So I did it again. I said, nothing to deflect. You are a liar. You've been exposed. Funny how my comments are being deleted. Have no clue why, since your abusive comments seem to stay up for some reason. Don't waste any more of my time, stupid. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't know if it's YouTube or this channel owner. Either or, it doesn't matter. This is bullshit, and I'm not putting up with it. As far as I'm concerned, this person is on the wacko side. Okay. So basically, what do I get from this? This is what I get from this. It would seem that this platform for estranged parents, it's not a safe platform for estranged parents. Because these troll-like people, or whoever these people are allowed to come on here and attack people that could be in the early stages of estrangement. I don't know if they're doing this for, because I guess you get more interaction, you get more views, maybe make the video more popular, maybe that's all they care about. I don't know. I'm not that person. I don't know. I don't know who's responsible for doing this. All I'm going to say is that I do not consider this a safe place to interact if you're an estranged parent, because you open yourself up to these crazy attacks, and for some people it could be really hurtful. Okay, I can handle it to a great extent. That comment about with my that video I did, that did piss me off, because that to me was a low blow, to take my video and my family history and to use it against me when my sister is an asshole. She treats me like dirt, and she always has. And to use that against me, that's pretty low. So yeah, you know what? These people are getting away with it because the channel owners are not being responsible. They're not moderating. That's what it really is. Because as many videos as there are on here, how can you expect YouTube to moderate? It's the channel owner's responsibility to moderate. And like I said, this is the problem. I do believe in free speech, but there has to be a line where they crossed over the line. Because I personally wouldn't allow this to stay on my channel. What I would do is, if I know who this person is, they're targeting people, it's a pattern, they have an account, they change the name and keep coming back, I wouldn't give them the time of day. I would, as soon as they come back, I know who you are, block. I know who you are, block. I know who you are, block. And that way they're going to figure out they ain't going to get nowhere and they'll disappear. But because of the way this channel owner is handling things, not handling things, this is allowed to appear. So I have a problem with that. Plus, they don't seem to interact. That's the other thing that's weird. So it's like, you know, what is this, the Wild West here? Just do whatever you want. I don't agree with that. Like I said, free speech I do agree with. But because people abusing that free speech, there has to be limits. So that's all on this one. Just an example of what goes on in some of these estranged parent videos. And that they're really not a safe place to be. Especially if you're commenting. And even if you're not commenting and you're reading, it still could hurt you, because these people are coming on here and basically putting 100% of the blame on 100% of the parents. And that is not fair, and it's not accurate. And it is totally impossible to be true. And this stupid person with her statistics, well, what about the law of probability? This person, what they're saying, there's no chance that that could be true. It's totally impossible for 100% of the cases to be 100% the parent's fault. That is not true. That is a lie. So this person can bugger off. That's all I have to say. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.